What's up YouTube, this is AfroJoeTCG, and today I want to show you guys a few of the replays of the Majespecter win-wish deck testing that I did. And I actually posted that profile a few days ago. In case you haven't seen it, I'll have an annotated link at the end of this video as well as in the description down below. But anyway, so my first matchup with this deck was actually against Staz Mo, which is a deck that I personally think could be very good this format, mainly because they don't get stopped by D barrier because they don't really rely on their extra deck. They can bring big beaters just without having to use the extra deck at all. Again, very good. They have the ability to tag out, which basically means if your opponent activates an effect that would target them, they can just tag themselves out to bring out a bigger or better Cosmo card for the situation, and your opponent just wasted a card for no reason. On top of that, Three Allure Darkness allows them to take full advantage of the dark monsters of the Cosmo deck, as well as Max C being a good card in the main board now. It just increases their speed dramatically. So my opening hand was pretty good. I was very happy with it. I have the one card Crystal Wing play, which is what I intended to go on. So I do end up doing the one card Crystal Wing, and he Max C's me. But my theory is, even though he Max C'd me, I'd rather have a Crystal Wing that he probably couldn't destroy, because most decks without Kaiju don't have a way to get rid of it, and I was willing to take that chance. And then I just summon QB so I can get a card face down and get myself a pretty decent protection board. This is when I learned that he goes for Cosmos, or he's playing Cosmos, and when you play Cosmos, I realized, I haven't played him in a while, but I knew that Straw Hat was one of the key cards that I was waiting for him to bring out. Crystal Wing negates it so he can't bring the big monsters. Again, he does try and bring out another card, but the reason why I searched Tornado was because I want to be 100% sure that I can get rid of key threats out the board, which I'm glad, because this one had an effect when it's destroyed. So once again, I summon Raccoon to try and search so I can Pendulum Summon, but he does have D barrier, so there's nothing I can do. Chris, again, I just swing for damage because there's not really a better option for me. Past turn, my opponent at this point can't do anything without a Kaiju of some sort to get rid of Crystal Wing, because I can either negate, or if he tries to outbeat me, it's not going to work. I didn't even really have to negate this effect because I can't be destroyed by card effects anyway, but I just did it to prove a point. At this point, it's game, because the moment he sees me summon the monster, he's like, there's nothing I can do. And my thing was, I had no fear in this matchup, because once I saw the artifact engine, I realized that most of his traps could possibly be bluffs, and I was right in this case, as if you just look back here, 2 of these were bluff cards, and the other 2 were just Artifact Sanctum, which didn't matter because I already had Crystal Wing on board. And that concludes the first match, so in 1 second, we'll go on to the second one. Okay, so for the second match, I'm actually playing against Blue Eyes, and Blue Eyes is sort of a deck that, again, I don't have a bad matchup, and it's also a deck I think could be one of those rogue decks that do well this format, but again, with my opening hand, I wasn't too excited. I drew double Eccentric, which is something I really did not want to see, but on the bright side, I did draw QB, which means I do have a guaranteed stale, and I did draw Pegasus too, which means I did have a play. So the idea I want to go was go for Glass Bell to search out the level 3 Wind-Wish cards so I can have a potential play next turn if he wipes out my board, and then use Majestic Pegasus in order to tribute my Glass Bell in order to bring out pretty much, I believe, Gamma, in order to search out either a Tempest or a Counter Trap of some sort to give me some sort of defense for at least 1 turn. And that ends up being the play I do exactly. So I set Tornado, which is personally one of my favorite plays, because I feel Tornado is just such a good card to have. He Raigekis me not knowing what to do, summons Maiden past turn. Now, I'm confused on this Maiden play, so I wasn't exactly sure if his build was a out-of-date build, or if it's something just to be a little bit different. But I activate the Archfiend Eccentric, and I realized because I saw Maiden though, I did realize I needed to get rid of my monsters, because I wanted to be able to make sure he doesn't get a Blue Eyes, because getting a Blue Eyes would be really bad for me, considering that he could potentially either have a way to get Ancient Sacred Stone, White Stone of Ancients to the graveyard, or be able to use Silver's card, Return of Dragon Lords, to bring back the Blue Eyes card. So I decided to summon put 1 in the Pendulum Stale, summon the second Archfiend Eccentric to pop itself and Gamma, and by doing this, I guarantee that I have a free monster zone, And let me explain why I special summon the Ice Spell. So the reason why I summoned the second Ice Spell is because I already had a Glass Spell in my hand. So I wanted to get an extra monster out, and Ice Spell was the only one I ran 3 of, so I felt like that was the best option because I already sent 1 Glass Spell to my graveyard. And I need the other level 1 for my combo, so only option. Anyway, so I ended up Pendulum summoning Glass Spells just so I can get the search, Synchro Summon, deal some burn, get the Unbreakable Crystal Wing, and just do my thing. So now Blue Eyes has almost 0 way of gain over this board. He does draw the Blue Eyes, goes to alternative, but even with this board, there's nothing he can really do to stop me. Like I said, I can just Pendulum Summon per game. I can shift all monsters to attack points per game. If he decided to, I'm actually surprised he uses effect, because if he didn't use the effect, what he could have done was just allow me to attack, destroy with Crystal Wing, and then let me just swing twice, and he had potentially a chance to live next turn. Because in his graveyard, I think he did have 5 dragons, and if he did, he could have, or if he had FGD or whatever in his graveyard, he could have went in, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys the third and the final duel that I have for today's video, and this one is actually against a Zodiac build. Now this is going to be after the Paraplanets are officially released, which is pretty soon, but the reason why I want to show you guys this matchup is because I want to show you a tier 1 matchup. This is a matchup where I actually did lose, so I want you guys to see how exactly this deck can lose and how I didn't just rig this so I always would win, just showcasing you the deck's best strategies. But I also want to show you guys this interesting, well, as interesting as Zodiac can be at least, deck combination, which basically is a combo that only required 3 cards. It required him to basically have Lone Fire Blossom and Brilliant Fusion. I would even go as far as to say that he didn't even technically need the rat in his hand, but I'm going to say 2-3 card combo, 3 at worst, but all I really saw him use was the Lone Fire and Brilliant Fusion to actually get started with the combo. So basically he summons Lone Fires, spins to death for another one, brings out a Predaplant. Predaplant start going off, Invoker into Rat. You know, he's doing his thing. And what gets interesting is after he finishes his Zodiac plays, he summons for King of the Feral Imps. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what this card does, basically it's detach, add a reptile monster from your deck to your hand. And it's really a card that's not used much. It was really only used, I believe, when it came out for a few minor decks like Gadgets or people who wanted to play fun like alien decks, just because for Gadgets specifically, you're able to search out Kali Hotage, which was like an easy rank 4 card to make. But overall, this card really hasn't seen any competitive play. So I was curious to see what he would do, especially in a Zodiac build. And he makes a Drancia, but he searches the Tyrant Neptune. And the Tyrant Neptune is a monster that has an effect that says the monsters that are used for the tribute summon of this card, it gains the attack and defense of both those monsters. And then also you can target one of the tributed monsters that was used for this card's tribute summon, and this card gains their effects permanently. Now normally this isn't a big deal, however, with the instant fusion, he can bring out Lyrical Lucinia. And Lucinia has an ability that states, well, the important ability at least, is this card gains attack equal to its level times 500. It's unaffected by other card effects, and once per turn, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to its card's level by times 500. For a level 1 monster, this really isn't such a big deal. I mean, it becomes 1500 attack points, deals 500 burn. Not a big deal. The issue comes to because now he still hasn't used Seraphnite's ability to just normal summon again. So now he gets to tribute 2 monsters to bring out Neptune. And Neptune now is going to target Lucinia. And now you guys don't understand how big of a deal that is. Tyrant Neptune's a level 10 monster, meaning that on top of the boost it would get from Lucinia and King of the Feral Imps attack points being added to his, he gains 5,000. So he's at a total of 8,300 attack points right now, and he can deal 500 times his level. And that means he deals 5,000 burn damage every one of his turns. And to make matters worse, he's unaffected by all card effects permanently. So the only way I can see you getting rid of this card is either if you have a Crystal Wing or if you have a Kaiju or some way to tribute him off the board. Because if you don't, you really don't have an out to this card. And 5,000 burn damage every turn means you're going to lose by, like, after your first turn if you're going second, or by your fourth turn, or by the fourth turn of the duel if you're going first, which is really, really nasty and really, really dirty. And you're going to see that I actually try my best to actually find a way out of this situation. So I do attempt to go for the Crystal Wing, but of course he is the tuner, so I can't do it. And then, you know, I just do whatever I can to clear as much monsters off the board as I could. But as you can see, it really doesn't do anything. I even attempt to use a counter trap to see if it would negate, but of course it didn't work, and I just took the L like that. And the thing is, it's really just a 2-card combo, which makes it really scary. All you really need is Brilliant Fusion and either a Predator Plant or Lone Flyer, or any way to search either one of those cards, which is very, very, very dirty. And if you get this, and when Predator Plants come out, I feel like this combo might be actually a thing, so something you gotta watch out for. Anyway, so that basically concludes the duel video. Once again, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Comment in the comment section down below if you preferred me doing the videos like this where I comment on the replay, or if you guys would prefer me to do live duels and actually do commentation as I'm dueling, or if you guys prefer me not to do any commentation at all and just have a bunch of duel videos go back to back like I did last time. Once again, this is AfroJoeTCG. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.